Yo, it's Trent. Hope everyone's having a good day. Of course, still. If you just watched the first video, then I hope you're having an even better day by now, right? Um, Usually I don't tell two in a day, but you know what? I got a little feeling about this one, and I thought it was funny, so this is just quickly the few times I've had to talk and fucking lie to cops. Or not exactly lie, but, kind of maneuver around the situation, right? So I wouldn't get in trouble. And I'm not saying go do this or anything like that. Don't lie to cops. But these are just the scenarios I got myself into and happened to get myself out. And I don't have the greatest track record. I'm like 6 for 8, let's say, because I've had to go down to the station to do random shit twice, and that sucked. That really sucked. And I had to sit in this room for like 4 hours and talk to a detective guy. That fucking sucked. But anyways, let me get to the fucking business, right? So 3 years ago, I was hanging out with these group of kids, and let's just say, not a good influence at all. They weren't. Like I'm an okay person. You know what I mean? Like I'm nice. Like I'm not gonna do anything that's horrible or anything that's bad. You know what I mean? Like I care more about people's feelings than things of that nature. But it's also like if something's gonna be fun or funny, I'm gonna do it, even if it happens to be a little illegal. Cause come on, you gotta have a good time. So I'm hanging out with these kids for a while, and I forgot to mention I'm older than them too. I'm a year older than all of them. Not that it matters. A year doesn't mean shit. You can see it. You know what I mean? But I'm the older one, and I'm there, and they're like, "Hey, let's start having fun." And I'm like, "Okay, what do you guys want to do for fun?" And I'm thinking at the time, this is like 3 years ago. I'm 16. I was honestly thinking they wanted to go like ding dong ditching, or we used to play this big tag game in the neighborhood, where you'd run and like fucking tag people and they'd like a big freeze tag game, or like a, can't remember what it's called, but you know what I mean? Like the graveyard game. Shit, I can't remember. Anyways, if you're still here, let me get to the fucking story, right? So one night they're like, "Hey, we're going over to this girl's house who lived across the street from him." So I'm like, "Bet, let's fucking go." So we go there, and not gonna lie, it's a awkward situation. There's like 3 or 4 of us guys and one girl, and we were just sitting in this room kinda, and she had the door open so you could go in the living room area too. But it was just kind of weird because it was like, what are we doing here, basically? And the main kind of kid that was the head of their little friend group comes up to me, right? And he's like, Trent, we gotta move. We gotta plan. I was like, okay. Kind of confused by what they meant, because I still at this point don't know what they mean. Like I'm not catching on to these hints they're giving me. And he's like, we're taking this girl's alcohol, like, because her parents had this fridge and it had a lot of bottles. A lot of bottles. And not just a fridge, like a shelf thing. Like it was fucking stacked with like, it had to be 100+ bottles of shit, and not just wine either. Like real alcohol. And it was beautiful. And I don't even like drinking like that, but when you see a sight like that and you look at it and you're like, fuck. And I'm like, so what's the thing? Like, why are you showing me this, basically? And he looks at me and he's like, this girl's parents are out of town. She doesn't know us. She let us in here. If I go distract her, if someone distracts her, we should take a lot of this alcohol. And I was really iffy about that. I'm like, oh, a thief? Stealing shit like that, that's not good. But that's a lot of fucking alcohol. And she did let us right in, you know what I mean? It's like, it was a hard thing to think of, because it's like, if we take a bunch, this girl's gonna get in trouble. Maybe we take a few, her parents don't notice, nothing ever happens. It's a situation where you're standing there, and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to do. And the smart thing, most likely, would just be leave, get myself out of this situation. But what's the fucking fun in that? He tells me the thing that gets me to stay. He looks at me, and he goes, you'll get to keep whatever you grab. Well, shit. I gotta do this, you know what I mean? Like, how could I not? So, I took 2, you know what I mean? I grabbed 2 of the, like, 100, 200 bottles. I grabbed 2. Fucked up, but I did. I grabbed 2 and I left. Could have taken a lot more, but also could have taken none. So it's like, I'm a shitty person, but less of a shitty person than I could have been, because they took a lot, I'm pretty sure. And the reason I say that is because, let's say a month or 2 passes. I went through those 2 bottles. They're in my fucking closet or garbage somewhere. They don't even exist to me anymore. I completely forgot all this happened. It's like 7 a.m. on a Saturday, 7, 8 a.m., and that had definitely had to be on purpose, you know what I mean? They were coming for literally a wake-up call, because I'm sleeping like a fucking baby. Probably not sleeping like a baby, because I go to bed at like 5 a.m. I was probably really fucking tired if it's like 7 a.m. Just bang, 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 bang. Wait. Bang, 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 bang. Because my family all kind of collectively doesn't answer the door if it's a random person, you know? But after a couple bangs, it's like, what the fuck? So I can't remember if it was my mom or my dad, but someone yells up to me. They're like, Trent, come down here. The cops are here for you, or to talk to you or something. And I'm glad that whoever said it gave me the heads up at least, so I'm like, I can mentally prepare myself. But also at this time, like, I don't have respect for cops now, you know what I mean? I understand there's situations where it's better to have them than not to have them. And I'm not saying don't have cops. That's dumb. I'm just saying, in my situations, they've been dicks. And it's deserved, too. So, I get it. It's just, you know what I mean? Not a fan of them. That's all. But, so I go down there. I don't even put my shirt on. I just got shorts. So I'm just wearing, and it was pretty in the summer, I'm pretty sure, because if we're going outside a bunch, it had to be. So I just went out there in my fucking shirt and shorts, and there's these 2 cops. One's really tall, but looks like a nice guy, you know what I mean, honestly. But the other one, I didn't like him, because he was like my height, maybe a tiny bit shorter, and this is when I was 16, I was even shorter than I am now. And I'm like 5'10" at the best. See how I hesitated there? 5'9". I can't even say 5'10", because that's too much. But this dude was shorter than me, you know? And he's standing there with his vest, you know, his cop vest, and he's standing there like this, and he's like, you know, I fucking hate that. It's like you're the kid who was standing on the sideline at the high school games, like, I want to get in, coach, I want to get it, you know? Just, I didn't like him, and in the way he was talking, he was not a nice guy. Anyways, let me continue. So they're like, do you know these people? And they say the people I was with that night. I was like, absolutely not. Who are they? And they were like, well, one of them said they knew you, which I didn't think was true the way he said it, because when the nice cop was talking to me, he'd be giving me information that, like, if I admitted to something, I wouldn't get in trouble. Like, he'd be asking weird things, like, were you here this time, you know? He was, like, nicely trying to get information, and the other guy was just like, well, we know you know him, did you take this, did you take that, you know? So it's like, they both had their strategies, but they both wanted information. I'm like, I didn't take alcohol. I don't know anything about that. I don't even drink. And my mom ended up coming out like 5 minutes after that, because I was still out there. And they just keep asking me these repeat questions about if I know this certain kid's name. I say no. And if I took the alcohol, no. They say they'll be back. They left, never came back. So moral of this story: 1, I got lucky. 2, shouldn't have taken the alcohol. But 3, I did, and I got away with it. So might as well tell the story. Thanks for listening. And, yeah, dumb things.